Okay, so I'm here in the atrium, and this is my poster. Yeah. So basically, we did research on stroke presentations of deaf and hard of hearing patients who use ASL as their primary language. And basically what we've sort of found is that a lot of the symptoms can be hard to recognize in individuals that use sign language as their primary language. And yeah, so I'm going to present on that today, this poster presentation. And yeah, so I won't bore you with all the details, but I guess this isn't boring, this is interesting. Basically, we took data retrospectively, and what that means is like we didn't actually enroll patients at the time. We took from our records from I think it was January 2020 to, yo, what's up, dear? Look, this is my poster.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm vlogging it too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, where you headed, lab?
Yeah.
That's cool.
How many
Oh, research.
You're vlogging it? Or like
I'm vlogging, yeah. I'm doing like a little like presentation, like before the presentation. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Alright, good luck. I'll see you.
Thank you, dear. I'll see you. He's my lab TA for chem. So basically, yeah, the craziest. Okay, so mind you, so we took the data retrospectively from patients between January 2020 and May 2025, or April 2025, one of those months, and these were individuals that presented into Strong Memorial Hospital's ED. I'm vlogging. I'm like practicing before the actual thing. Yes, thank you. And then basically, what we found was a lot, because of the symptoms were hard to recognize, like some of our patients were literally roomed in hallway beds, like without proper biomedical equipment, nothing to like actually track a stroke, right? So we have Verticare. Verticare is basically like the patient's vertical, like they're sitting, there's no heart monitors, there's none of that, right? And then hallway beds as well, which is kind of the same, just but you actually are lying down, but with little privacy and again, not adequate equipment, but most of them were roomed in the CCB, 72% of them. And the reason why this is relevant is because Rochester has quite a high concentration of deaf and hard of hearing individuals as compared to the national average. So Rochester is about 3.7% of the population, where the national average is like 3.5, being deaf or hard of hearing individuals. And then what else is sort of, so that one, the ED room placement was really like something that struck me. And basically, so what the whole thing is like that we found is that a lot of these patients are not able to receive treatment, right? So thrombolytic treatment is basically stroke treatment, and you have to be within a certain window. I think it's like 4 hours, and I'm pretty sure, I'm like 95% sure it's like 4 hours between last known well, which is like presenting fine. So like from the initiation of stroke to treatment, no more than 4 hours, right? So the problem is, so few of our patients actually receive thrombolytics, only 12% receive them, because not like everybody missed the window because symptom recognition was so late. You know what I mean? So see, so the majority of our patients were out of our thrombolytic treatment window. And you'll notice that even though 37% of them were in, only 12% received. I think it was because, what was the other reason? It's not super relevant to this, to how we're presenting this today, but I think it was because one was you can't be on like blood thinners. See, I'm not a doctor yet, and that's okay, I can admit that. Yeah, but I'm presenting this in Atlanta soon, so that's where I'll get all the details, but this is like a good first run. But yeah, again, these patients are not receiving treatment because they're not recognizing symptoms quick enough, which is like the whole, I think the main takeaway from this research. Yeah. So again, I kind of went over that triage and rooming of some patients was not standard for these stroke patients. Yeah. Yes. Discharge. Yeah. So post-discharge follow-up attendance was super low. So there's like a general mistrust between a lot of, underrepresented, underserved communities in healthcare between their doctors, right? So there's just, there was not a lot of follow-up, even literally after having a stroke. Like, people did not follow up with their doctor afterwards, because it's a pretty intimidating space if you're not treated correctly, right? So the PI that I'm working with, Dr. Rattoli, he did his own study on follow-up attendance, because it's very low within the community. Yes. What else? University of Rochester actually has really good interpreting services. Like, literally, like, if you come into the ED, not in like in an emergency way, and like not through EMS, an ambulance, it takes like 3 minutes for them to show up, which is stellar. Like, I know in Honolulu it could take like up to like an hour and a half, because the interpreters are on call. So they'll literally be chilling at home and be like, yeah, I'll be there. And it takes them like an hour and a half for them to actually arrive to the ED. And so if you are actually taken in through an ambulance, like, most of the time the interpreters are actually already there before you show up, which is awesome. And so basically where I'm going with this is that 100% of patients received ASL interpreter services and stroke team activation, right? Which is basically like a special care team for patients that present with strokes, or suspected strokes, I should say, because you don't really know until you're diagnosed. So as for our next steps, so we want to compare the stroke rates in deaf versus hearing populations and how that treatment differs. Like, obviously we have a good sense, but science is how we pinpoint stuff, you know what I mean? And sort of see the differences. Yes, so we also want to further investigate the underlying causes of stroke that may contribute to higher incidence of stroke within the deaf community. Like, are people watching their weight? Are people, that's a really huge one, is heart health, because there's correlation there. And then, so basically, we also, I think this is like the biggest one. So the med student I'm working with, Alex, she'll be Dr. Schick in like 4 weeks, which is awesome. So we want to advocate for NIHSS flexibility, and basically the NIHSS is the National Stroke Scale Symptom something. Like, basically, like, it's a scale to sort of determine the severity of stroke, or if you actually have a stroke, with different criteria. That's what that is. And basically a lot of the criteria for the NIHSS is built on spoken language, right? So is speech slurred? Are the words making sense? Are the string of words making sense? And many deaf individuals don't use their voice, right? They're signing primarily, right? So you're just going to miss symptoms. And what happened was, in one of the notes for one of the patients we researched, was that the family was actually there when they presented, and the doctor almost missed, like, or wasn't able to determine like how their speech was making sense until the family was like, they are signing gibberish right now. Like, they are literally not signing properly. And without the family present, like, they would have scored differently on the scale, right? And that could have impacted their ability to receive care. So it's definitely not positive. So yeah, just advocating for better symptom recognition within the NIHSS, so we can better serve deaf and hard of hearing patients. And then, yeah, I mean, the most important one, I think what I can probably do most successfully now is to educate and empower the deaf community to recognize stroke symptoms early. I don't know, I'm bad. I don't put captions on these videos because I'm busy, and I kind of just do them for me. But if you, they're auto-generated, but they're kind of ass, and I know they're ass. But I'm gonna put actually a link to a video. It's a video to stroke symptom recognition. It was actually done by a deaf choir and like a research team. They collaborated, and the reason why it was so successful and effective is because they used a community engaged approach. What does this mean? So instead of like making like a PSA with an entirely hearing team and just being like, oh yeah, like these are like stroke symptoms, and like maybe having an interpreter, they actually used the community. So it wasn't like a passive sort of like, okay, well, we hope this lands eventually, right? No, like deaf individuals were actually involved in this and are actually probably since then are able to better share the symptoms of stroke with their community. So I will link that video below. It's funny, everyone's offbeat, but hey, it still gets the point across. So yeah, just getting creative on how we actually empower the community is super important too. What else? I mean, I think just as for our intro, the reason why we did this is because there's a very sparse amount of research with deaf and hard of hearing individuals when it comes to stroke. Like a lot of marginalized communities, Black, Asian, Latino, have had at least more research when it comes to stroke presentations, but the deaf and hard of hearing have really been neglected from that. And that's why we did this, and that's why we have a lot of people on this team. So I worked with, I should shout everyone out. So this is Alex. This is who I will be presenting with today. Joanne, she's also a med student, super cool. This is me. Bo Abar, he's like a coordinator for like the general clinical research at URMC. This is Nancy Wood. She is a boss. She was my professor for EDRA class. She's also like a general clinical researcher here, like coordinator, like high up coordinator. I don't know exactly some people are so high up. I hope they take it as a compliment that I like literally don't know what they do, but I'm just like, you're important and thank you for being here. So we have Emily Mudrick. She's a nurse. She's deaf herself. Shazia Siddiqui. She's not a practicing MD, but she has her MD. She didn't do her residency, but she is very involved with deaf and hard of hearing research. She's deaf. Did I say that already? And then Dr. Jason Rotoli. He's the one that I connected with first. He's a professor at URMC. He teaches the deaf health pathways, and he's fluent in sign. It's funny. He went to U of R. He didn't major in ASL, but he minored in it. And our first ASL teacher, Dima, we both had him as our first professor, which is super cool. So yeah, I'll give you like one last look of the poster if you want to read it. It's a little dense, admittedly, because it's like we have to fit a lot of stuff in the window. So. Wait. Oh my gosh. Wait. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. Why am I sucking at this right now? Oh wait, I could just go like this. Yeah. And what is a little bit disappointing is that it seems as though we are like the only cultural poster in this whole atrium right now, which is, I don't mean to criticize, but it's like, let's try to target something cultural at the same time, right? So this is the med school's emergency medicine research symposium, and basically everybody's research here today has to do with emergency department research. Did I lie? Because this does not look like emergency department. Okay, so maybe I'm mistaken, because... Okay, so... Sorry, do you guys know the focus of this symposium? Is it not just like emergency medicine research?
No, it's like all...
Yeah.
Oh, it's like all okay, medical related. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I've completely lied. So this is a medical research symposium, which is like, so yeah, like some involve rats, tryptophan. I know tryptophan. Rats, C. elegans. Okay. Yeah, so that is definitely not. I don't think a C. elegans would present in the emergency department. But yeah. Wait. Where am I? Medical Scientist Research Symposium. Okay. Okay, so so it's a little bit more general than I had thought, but anything like related to bettering medical science is what's being presented here today. And yeah, I feel a little nervous actually, I don't know why. I feel like I'm intimidated to meet the med student, but she's been great. We've actually never met in person yet, which is like interesting. It's like such a digital age thing, but we've been talking we started this like last May, June. Last May. And we're finally meeting in person for the first time after like tons of work online and Zoom and phone calls. So yeah, Okay, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was interesting. I didn't do the best job of explaining things, but that's because I'm still learning. And yeah, oh my gosh, our references, the most important part. If you scan this QR code, you can look at our references. Basically like that's important. Yeah. Okay, thank you guys so much. Have a good one. Bye.